If it's on a page, it ain't on the stage. I said, well, how long's the set? And he says, 5 hours. Oh, hello. Good morning, and welcome to Dynamic Arts for another story. So, as promised last week, the story begins, let's see, somewhere in the neighborhood of late 2001 and 2002. That is as close as I can nail this down. Anyhow, again, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. And we'll start this by saying, I believe that this was the beginning. This was the catalyst. This is where my career, doing what I do now, has actually begun. What got me jobs? What got me hired was not that I was a great guitarist, by any means. In fact, quite the opposite. I was still learning. I have many students that have many more skills than I possessed at the time that I started taking these jobs. What got me the job was that I answered the phone and I would show up. And I had the gear. Those three things. So, on one fateful evening, I believe it was the night of the show, I received a telephone call by landline, because it was 2001. Yeah, wild, right? Phones attached to walls and such. Buttons that you push, no text messaging. I think we had call waiting. An answering machine. Call waiting and answering machines. Anyhow, I got a call from Jack McNugget. Dear friend of mine who'd been playing in several groups. He had a band, and apparently there was some sort of dispute between the drummer and the rhythm guitarist, singer. Apparently they had both fallen in love with the same woman or something, and couldn't stand each other, would not work in the same room as each other. There was a 2-night show to finish out whatever their booking commitments were, and blah. And so I was to come in and take the place of Jason Burke. Really talented cat, super talented cat, brilliant guy. Yeah, I didn't even think about making up fake names that it might interfere with, people who actually had these names that I created. Anyhow, really talented cat by his own right, but man, super, what is the best way to put it? Huge personality. Anyway, so I was to fill those shoes. To say I was nervous would be a very big underestimation of the situation. I was terrified because there was no cheat sheets. You didn't do that. You don't do that like you see now with the iPads on the stage or the papers. I was told when I was doing these things years ago from Mr. McNugget himself, if it's on a page, it ain't on the stage. And so I said, well, how long's the set? He says, 5 hours. I knew that I did not know all 5 hours of that material. 45-minute sets with 15-minute breaks, it does not matter. That is a staggering amount of material. Do you have a set list? No. Oh, okay. I'll just show up, I'll pick you up. Fantastic. That night, I packed up all my gear, got it ready to go. I took my Mesa Boogie rack, which had a Strategy 500 power amp in the bottom, 200 watts of all-tube power on both sides, a Mesa Boogie Studio preamp, and I believe I had a Digitech Legend 1 for all of my time-based effects and all of that kind of stuff. Had its preamps disengaged. And I was running that through 2 Boogie Thiel cabinets. It's wild setup. I also believe that I grabbed my 50s reissue Strat, not the expensive one, the Mexico one, the Player Series, because back in those days that's all I could really afford. I think I got that for myself for a Christmas present. Really upset with it too, because it, I don't know, on paper it should have played awesome. It was a lemon. I think I took my BC Rich Warlock just to be a, basically just to be a shit. Loaded all that stuff up, and off we went, off to Meridian, to the New Frontier Club. And that's where this story shall be continued. Have a wonderful day. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I don't know everything. But it's been a hell of a ride. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day.